I use a computer a whole lot more than I ever used to. As a matter of fact, sort of funny story, at least from my perspective, it's a funny story in that when I first took over as athletic director, I didn't realize how many hours I would be sitting in this chair in front of my computer doing computer work, because there's obviously lots of paperwork, but it's not really paper. It's mostly emails and forms and responding to people by phone still, but usually cell phone. And then when I first took over, on the other side of my job is overseeing the sports information office, and so one of the first things we did was look at how we could upgrade our website and have an interactive digital athletic website. So
it's our Twitter page. We mostly follow sports people and specifically people related to lacrosse. So, you know, right now we're currently following, you know, some groups on campus. When mccartin was here, we followed mccartin so I could keep track of sort of, you know, what was going on and where the girls would be in terms of, you know, what activities they were involved in. We do follow people like ESPNW, Sports Illustrated. We follow some of the other teams on campus like track and field, tennis, and volleyball. Friends of Jacqueline is one of the groups that we follow because we obviously have a lot of involvement with that organization, as well as people like inside lacrossewomen's.com or lacrossewomen's.com, places that do a lot of press for women's lacrosse so that, you know, when we follow them or tweet something at them, we get more exposure for our team and our school. In terms of people who are following us, we have a lot of our own players, as well as parents and alumni. One of the really cool things that we did this year was we had one of our alumni tweeted our senior game. So during the Lynchburg game, anyone who wasn't at the game could follow along with her and know exactly what was going on in the game. And she did a really good job of tweeting at players who were scoring goals or causing turnovers or things like that. So we like to tweet. So right now, I'm going to tweet.
We've even had to add a full-time assistant to the sports information office just because of all the demands that digital media puts on that office when it comes to the expectations, especially of fans of our sports and immediate results and or updates, and aside from what Twitter and Facebook have done, since those have become sort of the go-to place for information. Facebook not as much as Twitter, but a lot of our teams now have Twitter accounts, and they have people on their teams who Twitter during the games, after the games, before the games. Our sports information office does that.
Well, digital media and internet have definitely affected the way that we work in the athletic training room and work as athletic trainers. Recently, we were able to start installing and implementing an online-based injury documentation software that will allow us to enter all of our athletes in, as well as keep track of all their injuries, illnesses, how long it takes them to return to play, make notes, keep track of their rehabs, which definitely helps what we do. It makes it more easily accessible for us. We also got wireless in the training room, which hopefully would help, you know, if we have laptops or tablets, iPads, things like that, that would make all of that information more accessible outside of our office. Another way it's affected us is we have an online concussion assessment software called The Impact, which is a neurocognitive test assessing people's mental capacities, that you can do a baseline on and test them pre and post injury to kind of see if they've returned back to normal or not.
One of the ways that we use film is as a scouting material. So we'll get film from other schools, whether it's over the internet. We use a program called Easy Exchange where we upload our games and then other teams will do the same and we can exchange film that way. And then we download it and we use a program called Game Breaker, which allows us to break down the film into, you know, attacking sets, defensive sets, anytime one specific player touches the ball, all of our draws, things like that. So it's a lot easier to break down. And we'll go through that as a coaching staff and really pick out the most important pieces. And then we have the capabilities to show that to the team in our film room in, you know, a much bigger screen So it's a lot easier for the girls to understand, what they should be expecting in the game coming up.
I can tell you that in the 5 years since I stopped coaching and started doing this job, it has been a large part of what I do or oversee or am a part of in some way, shape, or form. I think it's for the good. I think it's all positive. It's just different,